Hi everyone, Lazy Fire here. Welcome back to Battlefield 4 Multiplayer. Today we're on Operation Metro 2014, and I have two guests with me.
I'm Gets.
Vicissitude.
You may remember these
My,
guys. They did a breakdown LP together, and so now they've come to join me for the only first-person shooter with the worst single-player campaign. That's actually true. So we're on Operation Metro 2014, which is why you get to see me activate a boost here.
ooh.
I want to get all the points I can out of this because it's easy points. So I went and equipped a boost. I have a
Let's see.
100% XP boost on this one.
Ooh, what are you using there? Is that the Dow 12?
It is the Dow 12. It came with the
Oh,
second
I
assault.
love that shotgun.
It was absolutely fucking broken as shit when it came out with the second assault expansion pack. Oh, there we go. Someone
Oh.
activated the Levolution. Yeah,
What the
but
hell is Levolution?
Levolution is these changes that can happen on a map that the players start. So
Basically, destructibility of the environment to change the gaming experience.
right,
There
exactly.
was a racing game that I think Disney published, of all people, that kind of had the same thing, but I forget what it was called.
Yeah,
Kind of tanked that like a champ.
yeah. Well, the Dow 12 was like massively overpowered in the release of Second Assault, but they nerfed it recently, and so it doesn't. When you have flechettes equipped with the Dow 12 now, it only has the 9 pellets. But if you had
Oh,
it before
boo.
the nerf, it had 12. So it could just absolutely destroy things, and at a distance, it was still really effective. But they changed it
I
pretty
remember
hard.
they had an issue similar to that in Modern Warfare 3. Putting
Yeah.
extended mags on the shotguns would increase the pellet count by 50% as
That
well.
was the best
It
thing.
was brilliant.
Oh, that was the best bug. That was seriously. I remember wondering the entire time I was playing that game, whenever I was using a shotgun in the early days, like, why is this so fucking effective? Like the USAS 12 with an extended mag would just destroy anything and anyone it looked at.
Well, it got people using the shotguns, which is why they actually got a buff after they fixed the extra pellets glitch.
Yeah, the USAS in that game was absolutely brutal. The Dow 12, I wanted to mention this, but the Dow 12 in the release of Battlefield 3 was the exact same way that it was in the release of Second Assault, which is also where this map came from. Because, and like I said before when we started recording, all the glitches that were in this map before they fixed them in the Battlefield 3 were in this map when they released Second Assault. So they really just took all the data from the previous game and put it into this one. Kind of
And they
concerning.
didn't even use the finalized version at all.
No, that's the weird part. They didn't do that.
Ugh. Dumbasses.
But yeah, and this map is kind of known as a bit of a meat grinder by pretty much anyone who's ever played on it. Just it's just a hallway with a couple of different areas to it, and I'll explain it when we go there. Escalators, the Jesus Christ.
Damn.
This is the
The
first
hell?
time we've seen
What?
this glitch. This is the first time we've seen this glitch, but it's a glitch.
Oh, he's outside the map, isn't he?
No, that's not actually the guy who killed me at all.
Huh?
That is, there's a glitch in the game that came up in the latest patch that changed how kill cams work because people were getting told that they were killed by somebody with 0 health or 100% health when they'd been hit or when they didn't have 0 health. So DICE went in and changed some of the game code around, and now whoever dealt the most damage to you before you died will actually show up as the person who killed you no matter what.
That's retarded.
Right. So sometimes you'll get killed by a tank, or you'll get killed by a jet, but it's following this guy on the ground who is clearly not a pilot or any of any nature. So it is a thing.
Wow. There's that Dice emoticon thing that has the logo fall, crumble
yeah.
into a pile. I can see
Whoops.
that now.
That's actually been around since like Battlefield 2. It's really well known. The company
Carrying on that Dice tradition.
It's really well known the company has some issues with programming the game. But unfortunately for everyone, or fortunately maybe, it's the only game of its real size at this point. The only other game that really approached it was Star Wars Battlefront, and now DICE has that property too. So,
Interesting.
Oh boy.
so
Oh, I think I heard about that. Aren't they doing something with it?
yeah, they're going to be releasing a game possibly next year in the Battlefront franchise, which is weird to me because it was first handled by Pandemic, and then the original Battlefront 3 was supposed to be made by Free Radical, who you'll probably remember as the guys who made Time Splitters.
Vaguely. Never
Okay.
really followed the Time Splitters series.
It's okay. No one else did. That's why that studio folded.
Aw.
I played
Yeah.
Time Splitters. I will say that it was a good game, or the
Yeah.
first one anyway.
The first
Never
one and
played
the
the
I
other
know
third
my
one.
brothers liked it. I know that much.
I got some guys at the end of this hallway. This is the Sandusky locker rooms. They've
I
been
think you're a little
termed-
bit late on that one.
No, this is something we termed them in Battlefield 3, so the name kind of stuck. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
this,
right. Yeah, this is a repeat map.
Mhm.
I'm the worst guest. I'm sorry. I should pay more attention.
Whatever. Don't worry.
I never stuck with Battlefield 3 long enough to learn any fancy callouts.
Yeah, there weren't a lot. It was basically they're over near A, they're over near this capture point. But there are some that kind of stuck. Oop, well, right there.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's the danger of spawning on a teammate in this game. Uh, it's just spawn in. Maybe a grenade's going to be at my feet. I don't know, but you're kind of required to spawn in on teammates at times if you don't want to run 6 miles like we are here. So the enemy team took B, and they're never going to relinquish it, even for a minute, for the rest of the game.
Aw.
I'm going to spoil it now. We lose. Not significantly, but enough that I'm embarrassed. But I wanted to show this map off because it is the second assault maps brought back 4 quote fan favorites from Battlefield 3. It brought back this map, brought back Gulf of Oman, which is actually a Battlefield 2 map that was released in the Back to Karkand expansion pack in Battlefield 3. It
Yeah, I
brought
remember
back Caspian Border, and it brought back Operation Firestorm. These were apparently the 4 most played maps in Battlefield 3. Metro didn't really surprise anybody because I think everyone knew that it was a very, very popular map because more or less every other server you could find on the consoles and PC was a Metro 24/7 1,000 ticket map.
It was the first one that came out. It was the one everybody stuck with.
Well, I mean, it was the beta map, and I thought people would kind of get over it after a time. Caspian Border was actually
You don't really get first-person shooter gamers, do you?
Well, the thing is with a Battlefield game, you really don't expect people to go, okay, I want to go on the map with no vehicles, with no real routes that I can take, with no anything else. I want to play a Call of Duty map in Battlefield 3. I wasn't expecting that. Unfortunately, I underestimated the stupidity of everyone with a console and a PC, because easily the most popular map on both edition or both platforms. This
Yeah,
guy,
have you ever played a certain game called Counter-Strike?
oh
Maybe
god,
heard of a map called D-Dust?
what? No, it's I played on no wait, no. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's only one map on that game. When I remember there was it was like a source comic or something like that where it was some like random guy who was going through Half-Life 2 as like a side character.
Yes!
And
Concerned.
at one point, yeah, at one point he ended up going over into Half-Life, or no, sorry, he went over into Counter-Strike.
The
And
legendary Lost server,
the
yes.
Lost server that plays something that isn't
Oh,
Dust.
why do I
all-
remember these things?
Yeah. The Lost server that didn't play Dust. And I was like, holy shit. There are other maps in Counter-Strike. What the fuck?
Yep.
Alright, so this is actually one of the new areas in the map. Doesn't last very long. But there's a service entrance over there now. So if you're stuck outside, you can kind of try to flank around. Now, unfortunately for all involved, on a 64-player Operation Locker map, Operation Metro, no real difference. There's not a lot you can do. 64 players is far too many for this map. A lot of people say 32 to 48 players is actually a bit more appropriate. But yeah, this is just absolute fucking slaughter.
Yeah, is there any real strategy going on here? It just looks like there are so many people that they're just shooting at each other in the same spots.
No, it's just a war of attrition, basically.
Yeah.
That's what Metro boils down to.
Yeah, it's more or less just get your kills in where you can and hope for the best score at the end of the game. It seems to me, or seems to a lot of people, that if one team gets, I think it's the side that my team spawned on actually, If they are able to get that, they can actually lock down the other team because they can't really go anywhere without going up some narrow staircases, while we have
Yep.
these really open pathways. Unfortunately, we lost the point early on, and once one team makes a strong foothold in there, it's really, really difficult to break them out. And so that's kind of what we got stuck with.
Yeah, with a good team, you can pull it off, but if you're playing with just randoms, yeah, it's not easy.
And that's the weird thing. There's a lot of goons on this team, so we technically should have been able to do something. We have one guy go with just here we go. We had one guy go and do pretty well actually. There were two guys actually on the team who did really well. One of them was throwing smoke grenades and using a thermal scope to shoot through them to kill all the people, and the other guy was driving an EOD bot around, which is this little it's this little robot thing that can repair torch vehicles and people, and so he's just driving that around and repair torching people's ankles to death. And
How much damage does that do?
About 3 or 4 hits will usually kill somebody.
Wow, not bad
Yeah,
actually.
there was a video on Lazy Fire's channel where it was just him using that robot for an extended period of time. He got a shitload
Actually,
of
here it
kills.
is.
Alright.
Not gonna play with that game. I don't want him getting behind us. Yeah, they're
Oh right, what about the Recon drone? I remember a whole bunch of people like suiciding those around in Battlefield 3.
okay. The MAV, the Recon drone.
Yes, that thing.
That had a pretty storied history. There was actually a guy who, for a long time, live streamed himself just playing the game, and he was following these live streamers around and was slamming into them with the MAV and killing them with that. Unfortunately, he kind of got bored with it, so he's not doing that anymore. But it was absolutely the most entertaining thing. When Battlefield 3 first released, the MAV, you could actually drive it through multiple people, and only contacting with a wall or floor or something like that would actually destroy it. So you could basically use that thing to rack up dozens upon dozens of kills before anyone could stop you. You could also use it, I kid you not, as an elevator.
An elevator.
Yep, people use it all the time that way. What they basically did was, if you put it down on the ground right next to you, and then went straight up, hello, enemy team.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was bad.
He didn't get one kill from that.
I got one kill.
No, I think he got one.
Here's
Oh,
the
okay.
OD bot. Look at it go. Got 2 or 3 kills in that room. That's great.
Go, Wally, go.
I call him EODDY, so Eddie, the terror bot, and it sticks. But yeah, a lot of people did call it Wally, or Pelswick was the other one. But you have to be
in
kind
Call
of
of
old to
Duty,
get that.
in Modern Warfare 3, the assault drone, that was always Wally.
Oh yeah, it was. So
Love
as
that little guy.
you probably saw there, that smoke is a little thick, and I got really disoriented in that. Bye, Wally. He's going to get more kills. More blood for the blood god. More skulls for the skull throne. Brought to you by Wally. Yeah, in Battlefield 3, you could use the MAV to get up on top of buildings by just basically putting it on the ground, jumping on top of it, and then piloting it to the top of the building. I was trying to get a direct impact kill there. You can see, even though my team's
Those
losing,
are always funny.
yeah, my team's losing, but I'm doing kind of okay, which I think is the real victory in Metro. Besides not playing it, is to be able to say I went positive in Metro.
Yeah. Even if you break even.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some sort of first-person shooter on the PlayStation 3 that boasted the ability to have like 256 players on
Oh, Mag.
Mag? Yeah.
Mag.
Just seeing the amount of people on this map reminded me of that. But I mean, did that kind of fall through, or what?
No, I think it released with that number of players available to it. I just don't think it had much of a following.
Yeah, I haven't really heard much about it.
Yeah, PlanetSide 2, which is still active and on the PC, and also released by Sony Online Entertainment, that still has a pretty good following and is actually fairly popular. A lot of people actually compared this game to that one.
All right, at this point, you should be learning from your mistakes and fire a noob tube right at those ATMs.
Yeah, I should. I don't.
And yet, here we are.
Here we are. I'm just trying to survive here, man. This is some brutal shit. I don't know if you noticed. But my team is actually running all the way back to the other end, trying to capture that. And I'm warning them. I'm warning them in in voice chat, but they are just not going to hear it, man. Watch. Watch as I die. I don't even know where that guy came
Damn.
from.
Whoa.
I
Yeah,
think he might have spawned back there.
for a second there, you actually saw the commo rows, which I haven't really shown off yet. But if you hold the Q button instead of just tapping it, you'll bring up this group of like abilities of things to say or demands you can make on teammates nearby if you don't have voice chat or something like that. It's semi-useful. No one ever listens to you when you say, "Please give me ammo," but whatever. Yeah, this map, man. If I could just get away from it for a while, that'd be great. This is actually the first time I've played it, which is really nice.
Well, I remember in Battlefield 3, at least on the PS3, there were plenty of other servers that had generally other maps. There were a lot of 24/7 maps, but they weren't all Metro.
No, there were quite a few that were like Caspian Border, or there were a couple that were 24/7's Firestorm. The thing is, with the Second Assault,
Carcand only.
yeah, Carcand only ones. With Second Assault, I feel like the maps that made it over here. And look, I went after the ATMs. The maps that made it over.
Finally.
Yeah, well, it didn't work out. The maps that made it over into Battlefield 4 are all. Someone else pointed this out, are either really big air maps or maps where affecting a choke on a console's game was easy. And Gulf of Oman is actually a really good representation of this theory because it's got 2 planes, 2 helicopters, or 3 helicopters, and if you are the U.S. team where you spawn on a carrier in that map, you've already basically lost. Because you don't get any vehicles until you capture points while the enemy team gets tanks, and you have to come in off the carrier, so you are basically getting shot at before you can even get to the ground if you get pushed back into the carrier. And the other team spawns much closer to their first capture point than you do. So there's some issues with that map, and they never really solved them. They never really fixed the issues here. I think they were talking about how, before they released it, how they wanted to make it a bit more open, give people a lot more methods to attack points and everything like that. I don't think they really succeeded in that front, and it's still not really a fun map.
Well, this map looks like it's just you banging your head against the wall the entire time.
Yep, pretty much.
Well, luckily for anyone who plays Metro, you've probably done that as a fucking profession for years before you find the map fun. But that is the end of this. I mean, look at this. Yeah.
It was a 500 ticket game, right?
Yep. Yeah. We almost
Damn.
cracked. We played an 800 ticket game where we didn't lose 100 tickets. I have to go put that together, even though I did poorly with it. But yeah, man, I don't really like that map. But I'm glad that you guys were here to hear me bitch about it for the entire time.
I love that you had Bill Cosby on the stock of your weapon there, but I didn't have a chance to say it before.
I didn't notice it.
Oh yeah, that's the platoon emblem. We all have that. People will complain like, "I'm getting killed by Bill Cosby," or one person complained Kanye West. Yeah, but
Oh, that's adorable.
Vic, Gats, thanks for joining me here.
No problem.
Glad to
That's
be
what we're
here.
here for.